and we can always edit it. Right, we'll get started in a minute. Before I get started, housekeeping, most of you have already done it by muting your mics. If you could also refrain from using chat, and if there's any questions, if you could write them down, we will cover them at the end. Before we get started, we're going back to the weekly welcomes, welcoming people weekly to the group, and you have to bear with me 2 seconds because, again, whenever I'm doing a training on the Zoom, it doesn't want to go into the next slide unless I do that, and then it works. So welcome to the team, Debbie Mattingly, Kirsty Barton, Kimon Johnson, Linda Ann Malone, Stacey Miller, and Chantel Perry, because I know you joined last Wednesday, Chantel. So welcome to the team, and congratulations to everybody who introduced new team members, especially those who are in the early throes of the business. Recognition, Kimon Johnston, congratulations. She just succeeded in achieving her welcome award, first welcome award this evening, or today. And I know the other girls, Jane was just saying that, I can't remember the name of the girl who's just got a first order for, I think it's £100 tonight.
Linda Ann.
Linda Ann, well done Linda Ann, if you're tuning in, that's fantastic for your first order. New York League table, can I not recognise Tom and Kate for being in the #1 spot for bronze executives?
Thank you. Can I just point out though that it's actually Las Vegas?
I'm telling you what, why have I got New York? There's always one mistake in every training, but this is the bit will be edited.
Yay, well done, Lynn.
Well done to Tom and Kate for being in the #1 spot for Las Vegas. Oh my God, I'm right, yes, old age doesn't come itself. Well done, Tom and Kate. There's there. I am in the league table, but I'm only at number 13, so I didn't really want to shout about that. But
fantastic. No, you should be shouting about it.
I'll give myself a wee. Have to start working. Right, I know that if you've been in the business a wee while, that you've seen a lot of these trainings over and over again, and that's deliberate. It's to help us to get feedback. Is it maybe your mic, Kate? Kate. Sorry, thank you. I think sometimes I can hear myself and somebody else's mic's there. So I'll start again. Tonight I'm going to cover sponsor, how to grow your team on Facebook, warm market and cold market. And what I was saying is, I know you've seen some of these trainings before, but this is how we learn them, by repetition. But what I'd also like you to do with these trainings, especially if you have seen them before, to watch them as a teacher and not a pupil. So think, I am going to be teaching this on. And I promise you this, if you watch it as a teacher and not a pupil, you will take entirely different notes. Again, I know that some people have invited some new people on tonight, and some people who haven't joined, if they have tuned in. I will say sponsoring is the name that we give the team building. It's how we introduce people. And if you're just getting started selling products, the same concept for how we promote the business, we do exactly the same with the products. So if you just change that word sponsor in your mind to products if you're brand new. So tonight, for the warm market, we're going to cover how to approach people that you know. And there is many ways of approaching people that you know. You can personal message them. Used to be top of the list was pick up the phone. It's not top of the list anymore because we're all Facebook junkies. You can use a Facebook status update to speak to people you know. Facebook group posts and lifestyle posts. So what I'm going to do is cover them briefly, because the warm market is a fairly quick training in itself, because really what you want to do is just send them a wee message. And these are just examples of what to say. Now, what I will say to you, don't copy anything parrot fashion if you're putting it on Facebook, because if you copy it parrot fashion, it could become toxic if everybody's using exactly the same words. And I do know that somebody experienced that recently, because the whole team copied exactly what they put, and there was a few bans popped up. So put this in your own words. And what I've got is an indirect approach and a direct approach, whatever you're most comfortable with. So, hi, Jean. It's not Mary anymore. How are you, the family, etc.? The reason for my email is I've just started up my own part-time work from home business, and it's going really well. In my first day, week, you don't have, doesn't matter how long you've been started, and your week, month, whatever your story is. In my first, there was Linda selling £100 in products within a day or two of getting started, and you had the other girl whose name escapes me, somebody will remind me, getting a first welcome reward after just 2 or 3 days in the business. So they will have a story really, really quickly. But I've earned this in my first month, around the job, the kids, etc. I'm looking to expand my business, and I was wondering if you know anybody who'd be interested in making money for Facebook part-time. Could you please watch the short video and tell me what you think? I'll give you a bell or a message tomorrow to see if anybody springs to mind. And you can use the phone or messenger. Indirect approach, we have the direct approach. I personally will tell you, if you want to know which one I favour, might surprise you, because I'm quite a direct person, I favour the indirect approach. I don't suppose you know anybody, but there's people out there who like to be direct, and that could be you. Hi Mary, how are you? Could you do me a wee favour and look at the short video and tell me what you think? There's the video link. I find it really exciting, and I'd love to know what you think. These are small examples and just what you can say. I'll give you a wee bell or a message tomorrow to see what you think. But don't prejudge. That would be my biggest tip. And everybody does, whether they like it or not. A lot of people do prejudge. People lead you to people. That's what stopped me prejudging. People lead you to people. And I always remember a gentleman called Chris Mason Paul. If you look up his name in Clunies, he's got a massive business. He's one of the top earners. We just don't hear a lot from him now. But he asked us years ago, he said, put your hand up if you know an idiot. Put your hand up. Everybody put their hands up. And then he said, well, that idiot knows you. Do you get my point? So people lead you to people, and that was the best example, Chris Mason Paul, that I can say. Always follow up with a telephone call or a message. The important part is to follow up. Hiya, Jean, did you manage to take a look at the video I sent you? What did you think? And if they show an interest, you can either arrange to call them and talk through it with them, or you can do it on Messenger. I will tell you my preference is to pick up the phone because it builds rapport quicker, but we do also know that it's successfully being done through Messenger. Just make sure if you're doing it through Messenger, you don't get into the trap of them asking a million questions, another question, no commitment, never getting started. There is a limit to information you can give somebody before it's time to say, would you like to get started? I've answered all your questions. So make sure if you're new that you let your sponsor know if anybody's showing an interest, because they're going to help you through the stages just while you're learning and growing. And just keep those records of everything that you do and speak to. Select a set amount of people that you want to speak to on a daily basis. Don't just do potluck. How many people would you like to speak to from your warm market on a daily basis and put it onto your activity tracker? I recommend a minimum of 5 to around 10. Now, the reason I don't say 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 is because we have to follow them up. And if you just go and send 100 emails to your friends, you won't follow them up as well as if you break them down into bite-sized pieces. But if you want to send 100 and you can follow 100 up, quickly do it. I'm not going to stop you. But an example would be 5 to 10 a day. So take a note of the information you send and the action that needs to be taken. Example, you need to send a video or follow up with a call or a message or send the link to get started, or they might not be interested. So you might get them, if they're not already in your group, get them in your group or put them down in the archives to contact them in a month. Remember I spoke to you last month? I don't suppose you've changed your mind. You would be amazed how many people don't join the first time they see it. It's called the 9 time exposure. Doesn't have to be 9 times they've seen it, but many of my friends didn't join right away, and I will talk about that at the end. So now we go on to your income story, because once you get started, this is how we build the business. Now, you don't need to have a check. You just heard me saying in the previous, a couple slides back, that your story could be that £150 in sales in 2 or 3 days in the business, or £100 that Linda got just after a couple of days in the business. But what we do teach, as you know, is to get a check, to get that first bonus check. It's a visual aid, and it's yours, and it's real, and it feels good. Now, I'm not using mine because I don't have a 400 retail check. I've got a big check now, and I like the little checks better. And as you know, one of the sayings in the business, facts tell, stories sell. You could tell them, oh, this wonderful business, and you get 21% and 15%, and there's K-Life, and there's Clean Easy, and there's bonuses, and there's this and that. And all you need to say is, I know somebody who's got no levels and they earn 20 grand a month. Which one would make you more interested, or at least want to find out more? The stories is how we let people know what is available from the business. So I know that most people on tonight have got their income check, but there's people watching this because they're recorded. If you don't have a check, make this your first goal. And it's only £200 a week over a 4-week period, just slightly under, to get that first goal, to achieve that bonus. That this is, you got your income story, because it doesn't matter what I've earned, Jane or Kate or Ursula, Bianca, it doesn't matter. They want to know what your new person's earned. That is the most important thing. It's a check to post, email, or photocopy and print, because believe it or not, we still have out with the internet, and you can get a photocopy of that check. I think it's a good idea to put your story and your check together. We've been doing that for years and years and years. Testimonial check, print them off, because it isn't just done through the internet, is it? How to generate leads from your own selling group. Well, we do this mainly through group posts. So when you first get started, it might be a gentle introduction, but when you've got your group going, every now and again, put up an advert. And all I've got here is just some examples. It's again, doesn't have to be parrot fashion. We do recommend that you maybe try and make sure that that post stays at the top. You know, get a wee bump up there, keep it in your top 6, keep your top selling products at the top, keep your top posts. But I'm just curious if anybody would like to earn some extra cash just by advertising some of the products in this group. I'm just curious if anybody would be interested in making money for Facebook. Do you know anybody who'd like to make money for home? There's a live advert that I actually used, and it produced 80 odd leads. That's one advert. And I've debated the backside of it, because it's no different to what everybody else is doing in training. Why did I get 80 odd leads when sometimes we get 0? I don't know. Maybe it's because I used the marketplace, or maybe it was just luck. But the more adverts you put out there, the luckier you will get, because it is numbers. I've put adverts and got nothing. Has anybody else done that? Right, so it's just numbers, 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 numbers. But that will attract people. Your business. It's the people in your groups are sitting duck. They're people just sitting waiting on you to present the business, and they love the products. But the great thing about your group posts or your status updates is you can reach a lot of people with just that one message. Keep it simple, in my opinion. I always just like to be really natural. I'm just curious if you know anybody who'd be interested in making money part-time through Facebook. I wonder if you know anybody who'd like a check like this every 4 weeks. You know, but, you know, there's loads of ideas out there. I've seen brilliant ones that Jane does, and Heather and Kate. I've seen loads of brilliant, and you guys, I've seen your adverts. You're doing good. But scour about for variety. Scour about for a wee bit of variety. But post the check. And I know that sometimes we don't post the check because we want to be a wee bit different. And that's fine as well. But I think the checks work really, really well. Ask your friends. Ask your friends, and I know Heather and Jane have definitely done this, probably Kate as well. Ask their friends to share your post on your timeline. Now, I know for a fact that Heather got somebody signing up in Spain through that. So when you're sharing a post about the business with a check, just say, ask them if they're on the post. I wonder if you'd mind sharing this. And if you ask Jane and Heather and Kate, they'll tell you, people share it. If you don't ask, you don't get. Keep it interactive and respond to everything. And I mean everything. Every little bit of interaction is important. It keeps your group interaction. The more interaction, the more people that see it on the news feed, what we call now the Holy Grail. We like to see the news feed, so respond to everything. Respond to every like. Now, what I will admit is occasionally, and you'll find this too, occasionally I add somebody to the group and they like everything, you know, 100 products. Well, I'm not really that keen on every single one of them. So I select a few of them to respond back to her, but, or him, but it's usually her. You don't get a lot of guys loving everything in the group. But I usually respond to a lot of them, but in one of the messages I will say, thank you so much for liking so many of the products, and then I'll pitch them. Thank you so much. You'll seem to love the products. Have you ever considered, you know, getting started doing this yourself? Hi Joe Blogs, thanks for the like. If you'd like any more information, please message me or comment below. Remember, we're talking about a prospecting thing here. So if it's a like in your own group for a prospecting one, you respond to every single one of them. And if Mary's liked every single check, yay, that's great, Mary. So I went back to Mary accidentally. We're looking for a Jean now. See, he's going to get Jean, and then we'll need to pick a different name. But if they're liking all your posts on income, it's a surefire sign that they're going to join. If it's a question from someone you know, I would say it's safe to message them. Only if it's somebody you know. There are going to be people in your group, even when you start, even when you're brand new, there's going to be people that you put into your group for your friends list that you don't really know. And if you don't really know them, you might want to get them to message you. But I think if they're on your friends list and they're in your group, that's great, Mary. I'll message you with some information. Or if it's cold market, you're going to discover, especially the cold market and people who aren't friends, we get them to message us. So that's the warm market one there. There is a follow-up video under the same section, but it will be covered a little bit here because the simple system has got even simpler over the last few months. So now I'm going to talk to you about how do we grow our team on Facebook using the cold market, your own selling group. So by now, you'll have an ever-growing Facebook group for selling your products, and we're going to use this to grow our group in our business on the cold market, because we bring people into that group, don't we, to promote the business. We're bringing them in. But everybody in that group, as we've already just explained, it's only because these 2 trainings have been put together, you'll notice the repetition. But everybody in your group's a potential prospect. And there's many, many ways to build your online selling group. And I'm not going to cover that in tonight's training, but I'm just going to remind you of some, the friends, family, people we know, people who buy for us, who like the products, our catalogue distributors, people who ask to join when we promote on the buying and selling, people who we invite to join when we promote the business. This is done organically. Some people run competitions to generate prospects. It won't generate sales, but if you're interested in that, I would say do it gently, don't do too many, and go and have a wee look at the training on it. Personally, I don't use competitions very much, but people on my team do. They work to grow your team. I like to use free ones, the cutest pet. The winner gets nothing, but I'll tell you, they still join in. So, just a quick reminder, if you're watching this for the first time, how to find the groups. Now, I will point out, as you're already, most of you are aware now, buying and selling groups, there's a lot of your own buying and selling groups allow business adverts. So you want to start to check your groups to see which ones allow it. And it was Jane that said that a nice, quick, easy way to find it is as you go through your groups, and if you don't know how to get them into alphabetical order really quickly, I will tell you at the end, there is a training on that, but you want them on a Word document alphabetically, and you want to check which ones that you can put a business ad on, because a lot of them you can. And as Jane said, all she did was put earn in the search bar and other adverts came up. You could put income or money or work from home, but I think earn seems to be a good generic word. So if you put earn, if other people have advertised, that means you can advertise. So take a note of it on your alphabetical list that you've got of your groups. So yes, it's a little bit more work involved. We do have to learn our groups and understand our groups. But one of the biggest responses that I got, I did get over 8 responses to that advert, and most of them came for the buy and sell group. I'm not going to name it because there's a lot just go to the same group and we'll get kicked out. There's buy and sell group in 2 areas, buy and sell groups. Wasn't it for the make money for home or working mums, which I would always try them anyway. It was the buying and selling groups. So let's find out which buying and selling groups allow us to advertise. And I remind, if you want to know how to get them in alphabetical order, there is a video, but it's 20 minutes long. I can show you in 2 minutes how to get them alphabetically. So how to find them, we know that. We go to facebook.com groups, or just search in the search bar, and just remember to teach your team to space everything out. That reminder's there all the way through. If they're adding groups, 5 or 6, take a break, another 5 or 6, take a break. You can probably get away with doing 50 to 20 a day if you space it out. But I'm quite happy just to teach people to do, 10 a day. In a week, they've got 70 groups. In a month, a 4-week month, they've got 280 groups. It soon builds up. But just cock honey. That's the Scottish word for take it easy. So, how to generate leads from other groups. So now you've added all your groups. I've been hearing stories of people say, I've got 800 groups. It's like, oh my God, how do you manage all them? I don't know if you need 800 groups, but I suppose you can never have too many groups. I'm happy at the minute working with 200 or 300, but I think maybe the more active become, we might want to have more. Might be interesting to have a wee chat then to see, what Jane and Kate and you guys, how many groups have got. I think we're all sort of looking at 200 or 300, but I do know some that are going up much higher. So, what are you going to say? Well, this is the great thing about it. You just say exactly the same as what you've said in your own group. That's it. Same adverts. Just going to a different place. Facts tell, stories sell. What we do is we take the group, we put the advert in our own group, and then we take it and we put it in all the other groups, either using discussion or marketplace. And tonight, I want to talk about both because I really want to start encouraging everybody to do both. Now, what I do also want to say at this point, when we are talking about the marketplace, I think when I say do both, do some on that and some on your laptop, because the ones that are doing it from the laptop, because we can't do it for the laptop, seem to still have a wee bit of a problem with the slight bands if we do too much, because we're doing a bit of everything. We're adding groups. So your PC footprint will affect your footprint on Facebook. Just like when you search for new sunglasses, suddenly you look on eBay for new sunglasses, suddenly all over your internet is all these different sunglasses. Same with Facebook. So I would divide. That's just my opinion. If you want to do more and you don't want to be getting bans, do a bit of both. I'm just curious, and again, this is only here as a repetition because we put two trainings together, but it's just, and I mean, with an extra £400 help to pay the bills. Years ago, that used to be one of our favourites. I think it was with Jane, I think it was on Would It Pay Your Mortgage? It was one of our favourites, especially Jane's, with another £400 pay your mortgage. It's as old as the hills, but I love it. Looking for part-time work from home income. Part-time hours, full-time income. Ask me how. You know, it's limited by your imagination, but again, nota bene, please post, space out posting to avoid Facebook bans. 10 or 20, take a break. Sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I'm fed up with you getting bans. Don't want you to get bans. So how many posts to aim for? Because this is why we're getting the bans, because we have to aim fairly high. We have to do a decent amount on a regular basis to get the results. It's what's called the compound effect. So you put 120 adverts today, in 10 days' time, you'll have 1,200 adverts. In 30 days' time, you'll have 3,600 adverts. And we need that compound effect, whether it is selling products, promoting the business. The compound effect increases our results over a period of time. So don't be dismayed in the early stages of yourself. I'm doing loads of posting. It does take time sometimes for them to filter through and for that compound effect to take place. But it's just like selling on Facebook. We recommend to build it up slowly. There's your groups. Post 20 groups, take a break. We recommend to post on two posts on 60 groups a day. That's 120. Now you might do that a mixture of discussion and marketplace. You might do 50 or 60 using discussion and then another 50 or 60 on your phone or your Android. You can do marketplace on your PC and it works really well and you can do 20 at a time. Just be careful with your footprint and not to get bans, okay? That's the only thing I would say about doing that. You will learn what your limits are, but let's hope that you're not learning by keeping getting bans. So far, so good. Touch wood. I've not had bans apart from my deliberate one. And always, 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 always track your results. Now, see what I discovered tonight. Somebody else has maybe discovered it before me. And if you have, why did you not tell me? And this is really exciting, by the way, because I don't think we have found it. Right, first of all, this is only, you will only find this, I think, in buying and selling groups. So how would you like, who's posted, show your hands, I can only see 4 of you, 3 of you. Who's posted on discussion posts today? I know Heather has, I can see Kate, I know Kate has, Jane has, Ursula and Bianca have. Everybody's done discussion. You might have done the marketplace as well, but we're doing both, but we've all done discussion. This is really exciting, folks. Get ready to repost Every advert you've ever posted in the business since the beginning of the business, since you started doing discussion posts, I can show you how to repost every single one of them 20 times. And it's not me, it's done as Facebook. So once you feel that the discussion post has reached its maximum potential, short term, what we'll be doing is we'll be going back over all our discussion posts. I'll promise you this will be the job that we'll have on our plates for the next God knows how long. It's quite infinity. But let's say you posted 20 today, 30 today, 50. Let's assume you stuck to the target is 60 on a discussion post. And Jane and I were talking about this today, I think. It might have been yesterday, where, you know, you get a response rate, you know, you get an instant response rate. And then you get some sales maybe the next day, and it will trickle out to where that advert eventually ends up at the bottom of your group, and it's your new adverts that's giving you the sales. Is that correct? So what you want to do is you want to go to your groups and start with number A, a search for your name. So go to Aberdeen Buy and Sell, put in Ursula French, just because you're the first person I can see, and all your discussion posts will come up. Find the discussion post you'd like to repost. It'll look like this. Can you see that wee box down the bottom? Do you want to read what it says? I have to move my camera here so I can read it. Turn on selling features for this post to get more interest and post easily into groups. So wait till you see what you do with every single discussion. Now it changes it to a selling post. And I've made the decision that I want discussions in my own shop, not selling posts. It's up to you, personal to you. You can do this in any group. It doesn't have to be your own group, but it will change it. If it started off as a discussion post, it changes it into a selling post. However, think about it. How many discussion posts have we got out there? You can do this with any post that's over 7 or 14 days old. And this is what happens. So let's turn it on. Click the turn on button. I think there's a bit of repetition there. Edit your post, because what happened when I did that, you can see it's changed it. It says life leather bracelet. So I had to change it to the right advert to put, you know, wee bracelet. Love that wee bracelet. I think we should all be wearing one of them. Edit the post, because it will be wrong. I don't know why. It just comes up slightly different. And then click save. And then what can you see there? Post to more places. And you can post it to another 21 groups. So what does this mean? It means every time we do a discussion post a few days later, we can then put it on 20 odd groups. Is that not fantastic? I'm excited about that. We're doing hundreds of discussion posts, hundreds of them. Everybody's doing them every day, and now every single discussion post, we can times it by 20. Can't do it on that. You can probably do it on an Android. Can't do it on an iPhone. But I'm mega excited about that. So it's almost made me forget. We've got to reply to the comments and the likes on our adverts. And there's going to be hundreds. We are going to get these 100 leads a day, because when you look at that discussion post on its own, what we can do there, 60 discussion posts multiplied by 20 every single day. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. We're going to be rich, folks. If they like the comment on your post, it's just the same as a sale. You know, like the comment. Thanks, Joe Blogs. Thanks for the like. Tag them. If you'd like any more information, message me, because we don't want to get banned by messaging them. And if they ask a question, the same thing. Hi, Joe Blogs. That's a great question. If you send me a wee message, I'll explain how it works. But here's another reason for doing some on the marketplace. And this is why I prefer the marketplace. One, if you're doing it on your phone, especially, you're going to get less bans. There's no doubt about it. You can easily post 10 a day, every day without bans using your phone. I've done it. But the marketplace adverts give you a message box. So you can just say, I'll message you and let you know more about it. And what I noticed with that message box, 100% hit rate. I didn't get 100% people joining. I didn't get 100% people watching the video, but I got 100% of them at least looking at the message. When we ask them to message us, they don't always do it, do they? And if we message them, we could risk a fear of a ban. So keep a bit of both, keep doing both. And I know everybody's doing the discussions. I feel maybe not so many people are doing the marketplace. The only reason I want you to do both is I just think it opens up a wider net for us. But keep your eyes open. It's back, you know, if someone says they can't afford the product, I hope you don't mind me asking, but would you be interested in making money for Facebook? Or if they like, as I said, if they like a lot of the products, you love these products, do you want to sell them, you know? It's, you know, someone's selling a lot of second-hand groups, selling stuff in second-hand groups. You know, I like that, Mary. I like that wee second-hand handbag. Oh, by the way, I sell products as well. I don't suppose you know anybody would be interested in selling it. And, you know, it's called the 3-foot rule. Doesn't have to be face-to-face. Keep posting in your groups and speak to everybody about the opportunity. And I'll just finish quickly on other ways to grow your group, because this is the one that we probably sometimes don't recognise. This is what built our businesses. Before Facebook, before social media, before the internet, we built businesses using paper and catalogue slips. So, you know, so make sure your catalogue slips have got all your stuff on it. Make sure your callback slips, your flyers, thank you, business cards, everything's got your Facebook shop on it and or the opportunity. Invite your online customers to invite their friends. Collect email addresses for your catalogue customers and ask them if you can add them to your online shop. I like to highlight the email address on the customer order form so they fill it in. But just, and we've got loads of catalogue customers. You know, other people are going to speak to them about the business. If you don't speak to your catalogue customers, somebody else will. I'll guarantee it. Send a text or an email to all the customers that you have details for. I've got loads of customer phone numbers. They're not my customers anymore, so I'm not going to prospect them. But why no saying, do you know Mary? Sorry, Mary. Do you know Jean? Do you know Jean? We've got amazing products online. Or do you know, Jean, I'm actually looking for people who are interested in making money. Do you know anybody? Everybody has hundreds of customers catalogue. Most of us, actually. Some people just do online. On your prospecting emails, on everything. Anybody who says no to the business as a potential customer, as we already know now, for your online shop, you know the system now is we get them into the shop first anyway. And put a card in with your products when delivering. Just a brief outline of what's going to happen. The word of mouth, and we're talking about word of mouth, and you speak to friends and family, word of mouth that way. If they're going to join quite often, that can be instant. That's when you hear of businesses in the olden days, without Facebook, that's how the olden days businesses went really fast. That's how my business went fast. It was word of mouth. I just spoke to people. If you had a pulse, yeah, got a pulse. Do you know anybody be interested in making money part-time? And so word of mouth is instant. But that's the ones that join. Some of them will come back to you. Your own selling group, if when people respond, the ones that do join will be instant. Don't get me wrong, there'll be some that will come in medium term. Direct message to warm market through Facebook, we reckon that's medium term, and it was with my friends. Your success stories tend to be more long term. You know, in your status update, Laura Harrison's a prime example. She watched Leanne Gilroy for a year before she spoke to her about the business. So it's everything, but if you do a bit of everything, it all will work. But the key to success is, without a shadow of a doubt, 100% consistency. Every single day. If you do it some days and you miss and skip a day, I know I've heard one of Jane's trainings, if you miss a day, will it do any harm? No, might not. Especially if you double up the next day. But if you keep missing a day and another day and another day, it's not going to happen. The consistency is the key to success. So, thank you very much for your time. Just a quick reminder of our next System for Success training. That's Saturday the 25th of March. That's this Saturday in the Mercura Hotel in Livingston, West Lothian. I don't know why I put West Lothian there. Thinking it'll use English guys are going to come up and join us, so you'll need the whole postcode. 10:30 to 1 p.m. Of course, it will be on Facebook Live, and I have decided we do charge for the meetings. It's a very small charge. Most of the time I haven't been charging, so I thought I'd remind people that is merely to cover the cost of the meeting. And of course, if you're on Facebook Live, it's free. So let's just go back to stopping the share, stop the recording.